Okay, a new experimental patch just came out, and I'm going to show you the changes as they would affect conflict mode. And I'm going to focus on the changes that are different from last week's changes. So the first one is added camera shake to M242 Canon and M240 MG. So let's test that out. Okay, firing the main cannon. And the machine gun. Also found a bug in this version. I think it's something's wrong with the geometry on this one. So he isn't rotating the turret. It appears certain pieces of geometry are not following the turret. So the next one is missing get in, get out animations on the UAZ with the UK59. And I had no idea this vehicle existed, because that was sort of new for me that there's a specific machine gun that's unique to the FA. Okay, let's check the animations out. Now those animations have been already in last week's patch for the other machine gun Gs. Okay, figure it out. I also think that the game should have some type of randomization of the forces that fight each other in conflict. So one game it could be US versus Soviets, or it could be US versus FIA or Soviets versus FIA. So the next one on the list is fixed Mi-8MT hardpoint replication setup. And it appears it fixes the bug from last week where you couldn't put the second type of rocket on the rocket pod. So I emptied it all out. I can select the SMO rocket and the SKO rocket. Now visually, yeah, they look almost the same, but if you take a close look, you can see the difference here. It appears you can even mix the load now on the same pod. That was not clear last week. The next fix is Searchlight of BRDM2. Now last week it was too strong, so it was too illuminating. So let's try it again. Okay, let's peek out again. Turn it on. Now I think it's better, but it still has some issues. You see, the thing in the light cone is now more visible. But there are two problems, I think. I think the light cone cuts off at too short of a distance. And notice here that solid white wall that blocks the view. I think it's supposed to simulate the light halo if there's some atmospheric interference with the atmospheric particles. But I think it's too much, because you literally cannot see through it. See that? And as for the range, let's see the range here. See, the cone appears to cut off here, which is about, that's 100 meters. So yeah, the cone cuts off, it appears at 100 meters. And I think it should go further. I'm not sure how intense it would be. I mean, it's the late 80s, but it's probably a military flashlight designed to see stuff at a distance. So it will be probably pretty strong. I also think when you're looking into it, I think it's a bit too timid. I think there should be more of a blinding effect when somebody looks straight into it. Okay, the next fix is tree destruction fixes. And the first thing I tried was to use mortar shells on the trees. However, that didn't change from last week. It would still knock out trees from a really far distance. Let me find that. If I throw a mortar here. Sometimes it would do nothing to a tree. Sometimes it would knock them out at really far distances. This is weird, because earlier today when I tested the patch the first time, It knocked out trees at really far distances, so I thought nothing changed. Interesting. Let's try this again. Could it be that those trees already took too much damage from the previous mod? So let me try again. So I actually can't tell if something changed from last week to that. Interesting.